You're listening to GlobalTalkRadio.com. The following program is provided for informational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed during the show do not necessarily reflect those of the station or the host. There are no guarantees to the information presented in this material, and the claims and results of any cannot be guaranteed. As always, you should consult with a professional before making any decisions that may impact your legal, financial, or medical well-being. This recording is copyrighted, all rights reserved. No portion may be used or reproduced in any way without express written permission.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in to In the News here at GlobalTalkRadio.com. Today's guest is Dr. Venkatachalam. He's joint replacement surgeon at the Madras Joint Replacement Center in India. Dr. Venkatachalam specializes in restoring mobility and flexibility in patients by providing joint replacements and resurfacing surgery. Dr. Venkatachalam, welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to speak to Global Talk Radio.
And it's good to have you with us. Well, let's just jump right into this. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes. I'm an orthopedic surgeon in Chennai, India, South India to be precise. I trained in the UK and India, and I have visited centers of excellence in Australia, Belgium, and I have worked in India, UK, and in the Middle East. My special interest at the moment is joint replacements. I mainly perform joint replacements of the knee, hip, and shoulder. And of late, over the last 1 year, I have also started offering biological solutions to joint problems and bone problems, particularly in young people.
What is a biological treatment solution?
A biological treatment solution consists of using the body's own tissues or cells without the interposition of a foreign substance, say, for example, a metal prosthesis or an artificial joint.
Okay, now let's talk about probably the largest segment of the population that's aging and needs something of this magnitude to help them. Let's talk about baby boomers.
Baby boomers are a large population in the U.S. and Western countries, U.S. and Canada, and maybe also in the U.K. These are people born after World War II, and at the moment they are approaching their 60s and maybe late 50s. These are individuals who believe in enjoying life to the hilt. They participate in sports like skiing, skateboarding, or whatever. They are middle-aged and they're very, very aggressive with their bodies. So as a result of participation in sports, they end up damaging joints like the knee or the hip.
And for sure, and many of these may not, may be self-employed and not a standard employee with the with a typical health insurance package. So how do they handle that type of surgery? Yeah,
that's a big concern in the U.S. With the introduction of reforms in healthcare and all that, insurance costs are being driven up by the system, and many of these young and middle-aged people lack the appropriate finances, and they can't afford insurance because, and most of them, they may be unemployed, underemployed, or self-employed. So they really can't afford treatment in the U.S. and therefore they are seeking solutions elsewhere. And the treatment solutions provided in the U.S. and Canada really don't cater to these people because these are young people and middle-aged people. The standard solutions for a joint replacement, which is normally offered to people in their 60s or 70s, is not the right treatment for them. For example, a knee joint which is put in when a person reaches 65 lasts for only 10 to 15 years. But baby boomers have got a good 35 years ahead of them. So therefore, if they're going for a metal knee replacement, for sure, they will be needing another new joint in their lifetime. So I offer long-lasting knee replacements at a very economical cost in India.
Excellent. Are there newer techniques that make the surgery a greater success or last longer?
Yes. As I mentioned, the long-lasting knee replacement is made of a brand new material. You can use either ceramics or ceramic-coated metals. I use ceramic coated metal. The substance is called zirconium or oxidized zirconium. This one is 5,000 times harder than steel. It is less allergic to the body, so people with metal allergies can undergo this operation, and it is more smoother than a joint made up of, say, for steel. Then there are latest technologies available which render the quality of the plastic put into the joint more lasting. So as a result, these new joints are going to last for 30 to 35 years.
And that would be just about perfect for the baby boomers. So we see the knee, the hip, and the shoulder as well. Is that right?
Yes, I also do hip resurfacing and shoulder resurfacing.
Okay.
Hip resurfacing, as you know, have gone over a tumultuous period in the last 10 years. They gained prominence in the early part of this decade, and now they're undergoing a sort of mature upheaval process with the lawsuits and all that. But still, there are many young people in the U.S. who have got osteoarthritis or avascular necrosis, and these people can still do very well with the hip resurfacing. As an alternative to hip resurfacing, also offer short-stem hip replacements. The bearing in these is ceramic, which does not have the deleterious properties of a metal-on-metal bearing.
Now, what I find very interesting is that I'm speaking to you halfway around the world. You're in India, we're in California, but that actually is exactly the way that you work with your patients, because you work with people from the United States and Canada in particular. Tell us, when someone comes over there, what's the experience like? I guess there's door-to-door service.
Yes, I have a website called kneindia.com. Another one is dedicated to hip surgery. It is called hipsurgery.in, and another one for shoulder, shoulderindia.com. You see, if anybody wants to search for an affordable procedure in the States, all they have to do is to just type into Google knee surgery India, and my website will come up on top for all three of these areas. And when they go to the website, they will discover that I offer a door-to-door service. There is an international patients page in each of these websites which lists actually what I do. So for an American, all he has to do is to find out a hospital or a doctor. Just send me an email, we agree on a price, and then he tells us his date, and we take care of it from the moment he arrives at the airport. We pick him up at the airport, take him to the hospital or the hotel where he would like to stay. He has his procedure, and then is discharged from the hospital in 5 or 6 days. He goes to a resort, and then after 2 or 3 weeks, he flies back home.
It's almost like a vacation as well.
It is a medical vacation. It is a very enjoyable thing. Patients don't mind traveling almost halfway around the world because they are not only getting a fantastic treatment, my quality of treatment will match that of the West, and on top of that, they get to see India. India is an ancient country with a lot of heritage and history. So it's a vacation plus a fantastic savings on their medical treatment.
Well, let's do this. Let's refer people over to your websites again. I believe that was kneindia.com, hipsurgery.in, and what was the third one for the shoulder?
Shoulderindia.com.
Very good. And we've been speaking with Dr. Venkatachalam, and Dr. Venkat, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. It was a pleasure.
You're listening to GlobalTalkRadio.com.